it's Polo bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins.
What's up, everybody? It's the Crypto Crow. It's Sunday afternoon, 12:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been a few days since I've done a video, and I figured I'd come on and say hello, everybody. I wanted to just kind of hang out a bit today and just, nothing super specific. Had a couple news things that I actually wanted to go over a little bit. Wanted to do some exploration. Honestly, I haven't worked really much at all this weekend because I quite frankly needed a break. So, thanks. I swear to God, I almost thought your name was Tampon. It showed up in red. It's Walloonpon. Love the channel, man. Never miss a show. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Dick Insider's in the house with the Gay for Crow. I swear to God, I feel like he's like that guy at the NFL games with the John 213 shirts and signs. It's great. But yeah, I've just been kind of just having some fun this weekend. My wife and I have gone out and last night we watched the fights, the UFC. My God, Ben Askren. Oh God, I don't know if any of you guys watch UFC fights, but man, 2-second KO. Like, Ben Askren went to shoot, took a flying knee to the head that put him out instantly. Like, in a nasty, nasty way. Holly Holm, she lost. I love Holly Holm, but my God, Amanda Nunes, congratulations, because she's just such a beast. And, I went 2 for 2 last night. I was seriously rooting for Santos because I've watched a lot of stuff about Thiago Santos and his background. It's like a 7-year airborne, military guy, joined the military basically to get away from all the gangs. He grew up in the city of God in Brazil. And, just a good dude, has a foundation for kids and teaching, martial arts and jiu-jitsu. He's a capoeira black belt or whatever, or was a green belt or whatever it is in capoeira. It's different. And he would have beat John Jones, man. And I was like, his knee blew out in like the first round of the fight, and he still went all the way. And I've never seen anybody like Thiago Santos. I hope to God your knee, get surgery. I hope there's a way to recover from that. Because if he would not have busted that knee, he would have beaten John Jones. Flat out, he would have beaten him. And he even did beat him on one judge's scorecards, and that was fighting through the entire fight with a blown-ass knee. I was just kind of like, man, that is dedication and heart like I've never seen it, and that's what represents a champion. To me, I was a big fan of John Jones early on, but between the drugs and the hit and run and just everything. He's just kind of a young, kind of smart. I mean, granted, he's super talented. He's extremely talented. Probably is the best fighter in the world. Maybe of all time. I don't know. But as a champion, I was ready for Santos to take that over and really turn it. Just kind of like Cormier, Daniel Cormier. I love that man. I love his chubby little chicken wing commercials, and I just love Daniel Cormier, man. He's the most unassuming beast of all time. Like, I don't know. But Tyson Fury, I don't really know a whole lot about him. I don't even watch MMA that much anymore. Since I got out of the sport, and I watch really good cards, or like really super hype cards with guys that, you know, I'm really curious about. Honestly, I was more excited about Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm last night than I was any other fight on the card, to be frank. I was curious to see what Ben Askren was going to do, because I know Joe Rogan really likes him. I know Dana White hated him for a while, said if you ever want to have trouble falling asleep at night, take a Ben Askren. Because wrestlers are typically just boring and they just lay and pray. So anyway, it's been a pretty good weekend, and good enough, in fact, that I decided I just kind of want to come out and hang out with everybody. You know, a few videos ago, I did a video where I basically just summed up what I expected to see happen in the short and semi-long term of Bitcoin. And I basically said, you know, I can see the price hitting 8,500 or thereabouts, maybe a little higher, before it bounces back to, you know, the 14, 15 up to 20 grand. And, you know, we got, and keep in mind, guys, I don't ever claim to be a technical analyst. I'm really not. So, like, you know, I see comments like, your technical analysis really kind of isn't that great. And it's like, you're right, it's not that great, because it's not really what I do. But I'm still learning, and I'm learning a lot about, like last night, I was kind of just looking at candles, and just things just started, I don't know, somehow things. It's so funny with me. I'm one of those guys that I don't learn things as I'm learning them. I read and I study and I practice and I do different things, even though they make no sense to me. And then I'll just have an epiphany moment where everything kind of clicks and comes together, and it's like, oh, I get everything I just exposed myself to for the past month. And it's like I do basically everything on gut instinct prior to that. It's almost like my gut and my instincts click without me consciously being aware of it at the time. And then I had that moment. So, but I'm definitely not a technical analysis guru by any stretch. I'll never claim to be, even years from now, because I'm sure I won't be. I do a lot of other things, and I'm just not that guy that's sitting here studying charts all day. And actually, this brings me to something I wanted to prepare, because I gave this guy a little shit once, and I kind of felt bad about it. This Crypto Kirby, because I'd caught like 2 of his videos, and I'm like, man, this guy just never seems to get it right, does he? And I felt kind of bad, because I continued to watch more of his videos, and while he charges an asinine amount for his VIP, and he's constantly plugging his VIP group. But I think this guy works really damn hard, because I think he's one of those guys that probably sits down all day long and studies the charts. And then he does a daily video like clockwork. He puts out a daily video that I find actually really educational. And so I just kind of wanted to give him a plug and just say, you know what? Sometimes guys rub me the wrong way as a first impression, but I'm not one. Like, first impressions they only last as long as they're proven otherwise with me. Because I'm not always right, and there's no other reason that I'm saying any of this other than I've like really enjoyed watching Crypto Kirby's videos. I skip ahead 2 minutes because he basically repeats the same stuff at the first 2 minutes of every single video. But then he gets down to business, and I find his perspective on things very educational, quite frankly. So if you're ever just wanting to watch TA, he's actually a pretty fun guy to watch. And you don't want to be Jan and Jamie at the water cooler, whatever the hell he says. So anyway, Crypto Kirby, I mean, he gets a thumbs up from me. I mean, he works his tail off, and I like him. So and I can't watch Tone. I used to watch Tone Bays every day, but I just can't do it anymore. And for whatever reason, man, Tone has just kind of worn me way too thin. Like, there are some things that I'm okay with hearing constantly, but hearing about shitcoin constantly, I mean, it's redundant. It's like these Bitcoin maximalists drive me nuts. Because it's like they're trying to create a world. They're trying to use it's like these guys, they try to use what they know, and they try to use their growing following I mean, let's face it. Some of these guys got wildly popular, talking about how Bitcoin was going to go down and going down and going down, and that's really easy if you've been around for 4 years and you knew about the bear market and you knew what a bear market meant in crypto. You don't have to even use the charts. I could go like when the Bitcoin bear market starts up after the next bull run, I won't even chart. I will just stare at a blank page and I'll be like, Bitcoin's going to go down, and I'll just make up shit and I'll be right every time. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, but some of these guys did that. And, and they're using all this technical analysis to basically say shit that really anybody that has 4 years history in the cryptocurrency space would know. And so I don't find that all that powerful. And on top of that, forever, some of these guys are talking about $1,000 Bitcoin, well, they were all fucking wrong. So like, it just goes to show like, okay, cool. You're good at calling a downtrend in a bear market, but you're not good at calling anything really specific. And so it makes it difficult for me to pay much mind. And then when they use that platform to then shit on all altcoins as if they're in some kind of concerted effort to bring down the altcoin market because it's going to help benefit Bitcoin, I'm kind of like, you know what, whatever, man. I mean, you've got ulterior motives. I can't follow it anymore. We are officially less than a month from the Litecoin halving. How high will it go? I don't know. I don't really follow Litecoin, but I will tell you this. I like what you're saying, but you sound a tad bit hateful. I don't mean to be hateful. I really don't. I don't mean to be hateful. I don't hate CoinBase. I don't hate any of these guys. I'm onto them. It's kind of how I look. And look, if I end up with 250,000 subscribers someday, and I end up, when I launch my exchange, which is likely going to be happening next week or this coming week, and I start building a staff, and I actually have people helping me, with the content on my channel, and I'm doing all the things that I want to do, and you're not going to see me running around parading like I'm some god. Like, I'm just some dumbass on the internet that happens to be relatable, and I happen to put a lot of time into what I do in the crypto space, and so I share a lot of that. That's all I do, and I just keep it real. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I just call it how I see it, and if it comes out right, well, good on me, but I'm not going to sit here and parade around like some fucking guru, because I don't think that I am. Some of these guys get a little, I don't know, they take some of this YouTube celebrity kind of status, which people call me a celebrity all the time, and I'm talking to different people, and it even sounds weird. It's like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just some guy with a nice camera and some lights, and I talk about crypto on the internet. Like, I don't think that makes me a celebrity, but some of these guys, man, it really gets to their head, and I don't know. It's like, I'm not really trying to be hateful, but I think in a community where everybody is supposed to be working together to perpetuate a similar goal or a like-minded effort, I'd like to see ego be cast aside. And I'd like to see a more community effort of people working together to help the space as a whole, not just pigeonhole the space into one thing of value and then completely trash everything else, because it doesn't serve the general public when you do that. And so I think that some of these guys, like, I watched the video, and it sounds like I'm just picking on CoinBase. I'm not. It's a lot of these guys that are out there, these Bitcoin maximalists who've been in the space for years, and they just think that Bitcoin is the end-all be-all and the answer to all problems. And it's not. It's just not. The technology and the seed that was planted by Bitcoin is revolutionary. There's no question about it, but it's going to be the technologies that have stemmed and will continue to stem up from that blockchain technology that's truly going to change the world. It's not just one thing. And so if you keep such a narrow perspective on what you expect to happen in the space, you're going to miss out on all of the good things that are going to come after. And I don't really see Bitcoin. Bitcoin is ultimately going to be the store of value. Bitcoin's probably going to be worth $1 million someday in the next 10, 20 years, or however long it takes. Who knows? And realistically, I think that it's going to be all the other. I'll give you the perfect example. So I just had a talk with Ian with Turnio. Some of you guys may or may not know much about Turnio, but they're releasing this block card, right? And ultimately, I'm trying to set up a way so that people will be able to, like, let's say you're using the Crow's Nest X exchange, okay? And you've got some crypto. And I'm going to do a whole video on it someday if we actually make this happen. But the long and short of it is I thought, it'd probably be a really cool idea to have something like a block card that functions with whatever you make available from your exchange account, so that when you're out and about, you can ultimately use your block card like a credit card and spend whatever it is that you want. And it's basically what happens. Let's say I've got some Cardano and I think, Cardano's up to 25 cents. And I think, man, maybe it's due for a correction. It probably might go down to 20 cents. So I'm willing to maybe spend some of that to fill up my gas tank that afternoon. And then sure enough, I get gas when Cardano's worth 30 cents. And then maybe I go and I buy it back when it corrects at 20 cents. So now I've just saved money, right? And I've saved money, but I'm basically just buying more as soon as I get back, from my exchange account. So in a way, it's like saving people money. It could potentially save traders money by basically not just buying and selling the swings, but having access to those funds that they can basically exchange for fiat value as they're getting gas or buying groceries or going clothes shopping for their kids for the new school year, whatever the case may be. And so when I see that and I think about that, I'm thinking that is something that will add value to the exchange. And so I basically talked to Ian at Turnio, and he's like, yeah, we can make that happen. We can do that. And he's like, I can do you one better. And if you want, I can get you your own Crow's Nest card. And I thought, okay, and we started talking about it, and I thought, it's something that I'll look into later once the exchange has grown and things are going well. You could also get wrecked. Sure. I mean, anything's possible in crypto. You pick the wrong day and the opposite could happen. Absolutely. But I think the idea is sound. And so, if you have a really great day or a great week in the market, you made a bunch of profit and you want to take some of that profit, well, you can do it by whatever purchases you want to make. And that's basically the point. And it's those kinds of technologies that you're not necessarily doing with Bitcoin directly, right? It's some of these altcoin products, these altcoin projects that are helping to fuel the economy overall. And I think that's where the true value is long term. Bitcoin planted the seed, and I've always made this analogy. It's, Bitcoin is that grandfather, what do you call it? Like that grandfather vampire, who he's like the eldest vampire, and he's like converted all of these minions. And it's like, and then he just sits back in his cave and chills while his minions do all the work, right? And that's kind of the way I see Bitcoin. And so, look, I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to shit on anybody, because I'm really not. I think everybody in this space has a purpose, just as even all projects have a purpose. Even shitcoins worth, a tiny fraction of a penny actually serve a purpose, because that still gives the potential for somebody without a lot of cash to invest in the space to potentially make some pretty decent gains and get them into it and get them excited and just kind of draw them in. So, it is what it is, but I would just like to see more people kind of working together, cast egos aside. I have all kinds of people on my channel. I don't care how popular you are. I care about your message, and I care about what are you good for the space? Are you somebody that adds value to the space? I don't care if I have another YouTuber on and they've only got 1,000 subscribers. That I don't care about that shit. I don't bring people on because I'm expecting them to help me rise. I'm bringing people on that I think are going to help the space rise. And so it's just kind of like, you don't see me doing these campaigns all over the place where I'm trying to get on everybody's channel, and I do what I do, and it is what it is. So anyway, I mean, looking at Bitcoin, like this here, we're at a 4-hour chart right now. And, ultimately we are looking at a kind of a steady tick down, and, we're getting these dips and then we come up a little bit, but then every time we're kind of dipping a little bit lower, a little high, a little lower, a little high. And so, and I think that given this pattern, without all the craziness, I still think it's possible that we go down. Maybe we don't hit 8,500. Maybe we hit lower. But I do think that we're in a position right now where nothing. I haven't seen anything that's telling me we're going to just start shooting at 20,000 before we drop a little bit more. And that's, I could be wrong, so I wouldn't trade it. I'm not trading it. Tell you that right now. I'm not. Again, I've got all my shit locked up. I'm not swing trading any of this stuff anymore. Nobody really knows what's going on. And the charts, while the charts can be fun and the charts can be potentially helpful depending on what time frames, what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe you're trying to make a quick scalp or something like that on an hour chart or whatever. Have your fun. But when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm leaving it where it is. I will say though that the spread between Bitcoin and Cardano is really nice right now. And I actually told my booking people, I was like, you know what? Instead of Bitcoin for a little while, I'll accept Cardano. Like if a project or whatever, they want to do a paid feature on the channel, I'll give them a 10% discount to pay in Cardano instead of Bitcoin right now. Just because it's a pain in the ass for me to transfer a bunch of stuff and be able to buy it myself, quite honestly, just because of the way I have everything set up. So it's easier for me to just accept it into my wallet and not have to touch anything. So I'm like really bullish on Cardano, man. And I think we're going to start seeing some pretty solid pumps here soon. That's just my guess. But I want Cardano and I want to accumulate some more. I just don't want to go through all the stuff, the exchange transfers and all that bullshit to I really just, it'll be a lot easier if I can get Cardano on my exchange. I'm going to try and figure out a way to work that out. But even looking at a weekly chart, technically, yes, we're moving up week after week after week since March. Well, technically since January, we've ultimately been going up on a weekly chart, but you can see this is just really starting to die out. And this red dot here basically is saying this is a reversal. Now, we got a red dot here and it didn't reverse, it continued to go up. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. But it's the tides are changing a little bit and I expect them to change. And I'm hoping that Bitcoin does get down to 8,500 because I would much rather launch my exchange with an $8,500 Bitcoin than a $15,000 or $20,000 Bitcoin. Because I have to stock the exchange too. So like I have to basically I have to buy Bitcoin and I have to stock it and sit, we're going to have a liquidity pipeline and all that. But you still have to have your own supply. And with all the stuff that we have planned on doing, I'm hoping that once we launch Crow's Nest, that just everybody comes and starts setting up orders, sell orders and buy orders. And hopefully people really start taking to it because I'll tell you right now, when we launch, especially when we kick off the STO, think about it. We're going to have an STO with an exchange already in full operation. So all of the marketing isn't going to be just like, hey, buy our token. It's going to be, hey, we're live, we're active, we're doing stuff. The STO funds are going to go towards continuous marketing, broader marketing, and added value and added services and things like that. And other licensing that I want to go after. So keep that in mind. So I found this. It's like every time I see this guy's name, I'm just I'm telling you right now, people, if half of what Craig Wright says is true, it's going to be a miracle that he doesn't end up floating up on shore from a river or something. I mean, I'm not willing that on this guy. He just sounds like a bad apple who just now it's getting to the point where he sounds like he's trying to work some deals and blow the whistle on some folks. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll read some of this. According to the transcript of the Kleeman versus Wright case from June 28th court session, self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto Craig Wright claims that Marty Malmy, an early Bitcoin developer, and Michael Marquardt, also known as Thamos, have co-founded Silk Road, Hydra, and a number of other dark websites. Craig Wright is involved in a lawsuit against the brother of now deceased David Kleeman, which started back in February of 2018. Ira Kleeman alleges that Wright has stolen a sum of Bitcoin, almost said shitcoins, stolen a sum of Bitcoins that he mined with his brother during the earliest years of the popular cryptocurrency. In a transcript from a court session of June 28th, however, Wright has made some rather serious statements. He says that Mommy, an early Bitcoin developer, as well as Michael Marquardt, also known as Thamos, who is a Bitcoin.org and Bitcoin Talk administrator, as well as a Reddit Bitcoin moderator, have co-founded the infamous Silk Road dark market, as well as Hydra and a number of other darker websites. If this were true, wouldn't it be likely that Ross, the kid that's like still in prison, wouldn't he been able to work out a deal if there were other people associated with this? And if these people were in fact associated with this, how did they not get pinched when Ross did? Why is he just the scapegoat for the whole thing? Just sent Joe Rogan podcast a guest recommendation with your name on it. Joe Rogan podcast .com contact. If we all send a message, it could happen. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Look, I am willing that to happen. Just so you know, I actually put in a call to an old friend of mine. I don't know if you guys, a lot of you guys won't know who this guy is, but Dan Severn, he's like the first heavyweight title holder, the first heavyweight UFC champion. And he's just a monster. And he actually commentated my very first MMA Big Show event back in 2006. And I was actually going to manage Dan because he wanted to do what's called the Geritol Tour, which is hilarious. But basically, because he's older now, he's 61 years old and he's still fighting. He wanted to do this tour where he wanted to travel around and fight everybody that beat him, and nobody would touch him. Nobody will fight him today. I mean, he's 61 years old, man, and like Mark Coleman, I talked to this guy. I talked to him for an hour because he actually beat Dan a long, long time ago. And this guy basically, he just talked to me for 45 minutes about his ex-wife. Wanted nothing to do with Dan Severn. It was actually pretty funny. He's out of Columbus, Ohio, so he's actually pretty close. Cool dude. A couple of these guys, I talked to Ken Shamrock's management, and he was like, I don't even touch him anymore. I mean, it's just there's so much to it. But anyway, I asked Dan, I'm like, hey man, can you help get me in contact with Joe Rogan? I'm like, I've got so many different irons in the fire trying to get on that show and spread the gospel of crypto. And we could talk MMA, we could talk conspiracy theories, we could talk whatever, man. And I'd tell you right now, if I get on there, it'll be a show to remember. I mean, it'll be viral. Let me just tell you that, and we'll have a good time. Yeah, I've got some other guys that I've been reaching out to just to try and get me on Joe's radar. So we'll see if that actually happens. So yeah, every bit helps, man. I mean, I've got that thing on Twitter. You know, I'm trying to get people to retweet and comment, and just hey, the more help I have, the more likely, the more potential there is. So I appreciate it. So anyway, back to Craig Wright. This has already caught the attention of Malmy, who seems to have plans to take legal actions against Wright over this statement. When referring to Malmy and Thamos, the document reads, both of them, together with Ross Ulbricht, set up Silk Road, Hydra, and a number of other darker websites. I protested this to them. Somehow I doubt that. I set up Bitcoin to be honest money. I set up Bitcoin to fix the problems of every other digital cash that had been, whether it be eGold or Liberty Reserve Cash or DG Cash or Brands Cash. Every single one had fallen to crime. And I thought by having an evidentiary trial, I would create the world's first digital cash that would not be linked to crime. Wow, this guy really sounds self-important. Going even further, Wright says that Marty Malmy also started working on a reputation system to allow assassination markets. He also added that they started to work on a system which is designed to enable people to fund terrorism. Come on. Malmy has so far denied all these statements as made-up accusations. They sound kind of ridiculous. I'm like so mind blown. Every time this guy's name comes up, it's like a darker and darker cloud surrounds him. In order to understand exactly how serious those statements are, it's appropriate to provide a little background information on the well-known Silk Road case. Well, we all know the Silk Road case. I'm truly just dumbfounded by that. I don't even know what to think. Computer science guru David Gerlertner plans to create blockchain-based Facebook alternative. I didn't even really read through this at all. But I'm like, go for it. Bring us a Facebook alternative. I wanted to create one myself for a decade, but I just never did. And it looks like he's going to be launching some sort of token sale. So we'll see what comes out of that. Who knows? Let's take a look at chat and see what all I've been missing. Good luck on your project. Thank you, man. When Cardano is decentralized by year's end, it will be listed on CoinBase. I think so too. And my hope is, see, I know that Coinbase has some licensing. They have some international licensing, some international offices. They have some stuff that they're able to do that I'm not going to be able to do right off the bat, which does kind of suck. But it's just a matter of time. And honestly, I'm looking at a lot of these other exchanges to kind of better understand the right and wrong way of going about doing things when it comes to an exchange. And so, in a way, it's almost like having a bunch of older brothers. Like, I can see, oh, well, he took the car and didn't ask, so he got grounded from a car for 6 months. So I know not to do that. You know, I mean, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And, you know, we'll see. I have a lot of plans for the exchange, but I'm not gonna. I won't lie and say that I'm not super nervous about it too. I'm so nervous about. It's such a huge responsibility, and I'm nervous about making sure that, like the STO is definitely going to help, because I want to make sure that we have everything we need, to set up the a proper office with all the proper staff, and I want to. I've got to hire some Series 7 traders basically to help with the B&D if we're going to go after that, which I think we are. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, like the exchange as we launch it is just the beginning, and it's going to continue to grow and grow, and so we'll see. I've talked to a lot of people though in the space, and they all think it's great, and they think it's going to be wildly successful. So I'm like, oh, put your money where your mouth is, and we'll see. Craig Wright. The name is just synonymous with just vampire. Like, I don't know. Maybe he did create Bitcoin, because it definitely, it's like I'm always creating these analogies with Bitcoin, and it sounds like it fits Craig Wright pretty much. If we already have PT and PT feeder, do we get a discount on Aquatos? That's actually a decent question, Natalie. It's not planned, but I don't see why not. Like, I might be willing to do something where we say, look, for the next 30 days, if you have a profit trailer license, we'll give you like X discount on Crow Trader. I would be willing to do something like that. Yeah. Maybe I will do that, because I think it's only fair. And so, because a lot of people, let's face it, a lot of people picked up Profit Trailer because I was doing daily videos on it. And, once things are really kicking off with the altcoin market and with everything going on, it'll be silly. I'm not going to be doing anything with Profit Trailer. Plus, they changed a lot of stuff. And so the focus is going to be on Crow Trader. And I think, I will be willing to do some sort of discount. I'll have to work it out with the devs and things, but I think it's definitely doable. Maybe that's something that we'll be able to do. Maybe I'll work something out for the month of July. So we'll see. That's a good question, though. We need a good exchange for Americans. Well, that's the thing, too. So a lot of people see a lot of the activity on the market, like, with your buy and sell orders and things going on. You go to sleep and then you find, Asia dumped and, all this other stuff. Crow's Nest is basically, we're launching it for America. Like, people in Asia are not going to have access to Crow's Nest. You know, like accounts will be IP blocked from any other country outside of the US. And so, you know, once the licensing is ready, then we'll open up to new markets and things. But ultimately, yeah, it's going to be a US exchange. So, good old America, gonna get it going on the crypto space there. Good old America. Crow Trader, how much is to list a coin? Crow Trader is the automated bot. Crow's Nest is my exchange. And honestly, I was gonna do just a straight up like, here's the listing fee. I think it's gonna just depend on how bad we want it. And I will say that it's not going to be easy to get listed on Crow's Nest, not in the least, because you're gonna have to. If you want your coin considered, you're going to have to go through a whole thing with the lawyers, and you're going to have a bunch of legal stuff. I mean, it's not going to be like, hey, I created this coin yesterday, can I list it? No, it's not going to be that easy at all. Crow, great chat with Charles. What do you think of all these XRP tinfoil hatters, 589 people? It seems like a delusional cult. Not XRP, but the crazy theorists and riddles and picto puzzles, etc. I actually like that stuff. I like all the puzzles, and I think it's some of these guys are doing stuff that I've always wanted to do myself, so I super dig it. And I just think it's all part of fun, and I think it's all community fuel. You know, whether somebody's being paid to create these little puzzles and all this different stuff on Twitter and all that, I see it. I love it. I think it's great, and I think it's a fun way of keeping people excited and interested in, basically a crypto finance project. So, you know, the whole 589 and all that, who knows, man. So I started doing some digging last night, and I had this idea, and I was actually down here and I was painting, and I was listening to different stuff like UFC and things, and I started thinking, like, you know, I wonder, I would love to do a comparison of the crypto market from 4 years ago, so 2015, and today. And so I went to Wayback Machine and I looked at CoinMarketCap because I thought, I wonder what was around 4 years ago and how much of that is around today. How much has been bumped out? How much has gone to hell? How much has done really well? Ripple was around. Their market cap has blown up over the last 4 years. Stellar Lumens was around back then, and it's like everything that was around, like Bitcoin obviously, I think Litecoin was one of them, Ripple was one of them, Stellar Lumens was one of them, and there were so many projects outside of that I'd never even seen before, and they've just gone to hell. They're just not worth very much. So there are going to be a lot of altcoins that aren't going to bode well during the next altcoin rally. What I will say though is that the projects that seem to do well long term are either new blockchains, forks of blockchains, or I'm guessing and I'm hoping for some serious interoperability love. And I've heard about Quant, and I know that that's starting to get pretty bullish, apparently. I'm still bullish on Aeon, and I think Aeon has a head start on a lot of these companies. I'm trying to get some of these guys on the channel because I want to interview them and talk to them about what's going on and what's happening, what their plans are, and all of that. So, you know, we'll see. But it was like my theory for how I was going to do this kind of competitive analysis for what was potentially coming down the pipe didn't work out so well, because a lot of the altcoins that were popular 4 years ago just aren't very good now, and they've been replaced by next generation technologies and so forth. So do you see your Cardano holding for 3 to 5 years, or would you sell before? So that's a good question. I'll be very honest. I will likely be selling at what I consider to be the top of the next run. Because here's the thing, I love Cardano. I'm all about crowing my coins. I've been holding everything over the past year. Crow's Nest is my exchange. Yeah. That's what I've been so busy on, folks. I'm not just a YouTuber. I wish I could sit here and do fun videos every day, but I'm trying to build an empire, baby. No, I'm joking. Kind of. Likely I'm going you can't escape the 4-year cycle. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of crypto right now. And until we have absolute mass adoption, I see this cycle persisting. And yeah, I'm likely going to sell at the top and buying back in once it comes down. I mean, look, if every time we have a bull market and a bull run, you know, once the cycle completes and we pull back 85%, well, I'm going to accumulate 85% more from the gains from the last cycle. And that's just kind of the way. Look, if I would have been in crypto 4 years ago and I would have had the knowledge of the past 2 years that I you know have now, if I would have had that then, I'd already have it would just be a totally different animal. I'm telling you, it'd be a totally different animal. So, any thoughts on Matrix II? None of late. I mean, I'm that's the thing of it is I want to start doing more project focused videos coming up. But Crow's Nest we're going to launch it this week. We're going to launch a test net this week, which is basically going to be a fully functional exchange without live trading turned on. And then I'm going to be inviting people from within my community to go, and they'll be able to start testing it, set up accounts, play with it. Everybody will have play money that they can make trades and kind of understand how it works. And once we've had a week or two where I've got some other things that I'm going to be testing as well with outside parties. And once that's done, then we're going to go live. Basically it's already done. As of right now, it's done. I could push the button and launch it pretty much whenever. But I've got the devs and the guys working on the UI a little bit right now and just making it a little prettier. And then we'll come out and then we're gonna have a whole big shebang. But we're gonna launch it kind of quietly initially because I don't want to come out with a huge bang. You guys will know about it. But I'm going to, before we go live, I want to actually have a full PR campaign, and I want to have the STO ready, and I want to have everything lined up and ready to go. You're going to hire a hacker to test your security. I will say that I have talked to HackerOne, sure. You know, my biggest fear is not necessarily the government. My biggest fear is security. And so, you know, I've talked to some different hacker groups about the exchange, and I may or may not be working with some or all of them. So anyway, let me take a look. Pro, will it be possible to use your bot from Ireland? Yeah, you'll be able to use the bots from anywhere in the world. It's just going to be dependent on what exchanges you use. Like Binance, you know, the bot right now works on Binance. Well, Binance is locking everything out in the US come September because they're going to be launching their US based version of Binance, which that's cool. But if you're in the United States and you have a US Binance account, you're not going to be able to use the bot in Binance. So that's why we're actually in the process, right now, as we speak, adding CoinBase Pro. I will tell everybody, which sucks actually, you are not going to be able to use Crow Trader on Crow's Nest. Because I asked my lawyers about it, and I asked one of my lawyers about it, and he flat out said it's a conflict. I can't own a white labeled algorithmic trading bot that I'm basically telling everybody to use on an exchange I also own. So it is what it is, and it makes sense. I get it. It's not like I'd be doing anything shady, but government doesn't know that. You don't know that. Most of you do, but just the nature of things. So I'm not going to be able to do that. But we are going to add other exchanges. So we'll have and it sucks because all of that volume I'm basically going to be pushing the competition. I wish there was a way around it. I don't think there is, unless I I don't know. If there's a way, I'd love to figure it out, but I haven't put much investment into that yet because I've got other things more important. But we'll see. Holy moly! Excuse me. How will old Aquatos licenses be transferred to CrowTrader? I mean, they pretty much already are, as I understand it. Like, if you've got an active license, you've got a good license, it'll work on CrowTrader. And you'll want to make sure. So we're going to need to. I'll have to double check on that because I know that I already have like a newer version than the one any of you guys have. It's been updated with some things, and I know that a newer version is going to be out this week, and I think it's going to be the one that will enable people to trade on CoinBase and some other things. And basically, the goal is every week to have updates, either updates, new features, something coming out, so that people and I want it to be really easy to keep your software updated as well. So yeah. I mean, you can get it. If you go to crowtrader.com, you can get your copy of CrowTrader right now and download it. But right now, it only works on Binance. So, Aldo Paulino. Yes! Finally caught you live, Crow. When are you going to start the daily videos, man? We miss you. I know. I'm working on it. And that's the thing. That's kind of why I'm just kind of hanging out a bit today, because I just want to hang out and, you know, see what's new with everybody, what's popping, where your heads are, what your interests are, and just kind of hang out and do some exploration, because I haven't just taken a break this weekend. I've been busting it out, man. Like I'm trying to get so much stuff going at the same time. And, you know, they always say that, you know, millionaires always have at least 3 sources of income. And I'm sure that's true, but typically it's not 3 big projects. And so it's like, it's all good. It's all good. I'm handling it all fine, but it's like, I do get burnt out and I just need a break. I get to a point where I don't even want to hear the word crypto. I want to hear about something else. Elder Scrolls, War Machine. I'm even thinking about getting into Warhammer. Like I like my nerd games and I like painting. Oh my gosh, I'll show you guys this. So this is from a game. So there's this model in this game that I play. So I play a faction called Grimkin. I have like 5 different factions, but Grimkin's kind of funny. They're like evil and fun at the same time. And so there's this model here. And I'll show you so he looks like a pimp. Right? He's a big toad. And I'm like painting this guy and I'm like, well, he looks like a pimp, so I'm going to paint him in bright colors and then I'm going to give him a girlfriend. I thought it was funny as hell. Some people thought it was funny. I posted it to the Facebook group for that faction, and I caught a bunch of heat from like all these nerds that were just like, I don't know what their deal was. They didn't think it was all that funny. My wife thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Because there's a warcaster in another game, and that's his like girlfriend or whatever. So I'm like, well, Baron Tunglick, which is the guy's name, ate Gorshade and took his girl. I thought it was funny. But anyway, yeah, that's what I do. I just paint and I just crack myself up because I'm like, it is what it is. So this, for those of you, I've shown you guys this on-chain FX is actually really slick. And which project is your priority? I mean, obviously the exchange is my number 1 priority. You know, Crow mining is like passive. I don't have to do much with Crow mining because that's managed by the Elevate group. And yeah, smash the likes and post the comments. I actually, well, I'm going to have a question for you guys that I really want you guys to answer, because I'll pose it at the end of this. I mean, we're almost 49 minutes. I've already been on for a while. Number of transactions per 24 hour. That's what I want. I want to take all this other stuff out. Well, that's commits. I want that. Okay, did this carry over from upstairs? Care about that. So if I'm looking at like, so Cardano, right? So right now it's 0.0777 cents, all-time high of $1.33. Transactional volume 641 million. Number of active addresses. Right now there are only 8,324 active addresses with like 3,000 transactions happening over the last 24 hours. This is nothing. This is nothing, folks. 46 commits over the last 90 days. 1,306 over the last year. Now, I'm telling you, once proof of stake and smart contracts launch on this puppy, boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to get stupid. It's going to get stupid. But this is a really good site to be able to kind of see, like what's happening. What's your altcoin being used for? Ripple, it's at 39 cents, almost $4 all-time high. $200 million worth of transactional volume over the last day. Cardano is far beyond that, and there's not that many people using it. 10,000 wallets. It has 2,000 more active wallet addresses than Cardano does. And it's just, this is a really cool way of comparing, different projects and kind of getting an idea as to what's been going on. The GitHub commits, that's a really good indication of, is the project booming? 382 GitHub commits in the last 90 days for Tron. But look at this. It's only $30 million in the last 24 hours worth of transactional volume. It's really not that much. Even though you've got almost 44,000 active wallet addresses. So you can kind of see almost 1 million transactions. So you can see the projects and kind of what's going on the blockchain. How many transactions are they getting? How many new users are they getting? That sort of stuff. And it's a really good indicator as to what's happening with the project and whether or not it's likely going to be bullish or not during the next altcoin rally. So what link is that? So it's a website called Messari, MESSAR. Here, you know what? I'll hook y'all up. Let me post this and oh damn it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put my there. Just linked it in chat for you guys. So I am kind of working out some stuff where I want to start diving into projects. I want to dive into projects new and old, but I really want to know where I should be spending the majority of that time. And so I'm asking all of you guys, there's 275 of you left. The video might be a little long today. I want you guys to tell me, not in the super chat, but in the comments, I want you to tell me which projects you most want me to start really diving into. Like if I picked 20 projects that I really kind of dove into and started researching, and you wanted some just, casual opinions on, if you will, what projects are those? What do you most want me to get into? And I will look at adding them. I've got like 30 that I'm already kind of watching and have been watching, obviously. Many of them I expect to do fairly well. And so again, not in super chat because that's not going to help because I'm not going to see those. But once this video is published, post in the comments. But I also want to know not just what projects, but I want to know why. Why are you interested in the project, and what exactly is it that you want me to look into? This isn't about just like when Moon or I think this is going to meet Moon. I think this is going to do well. I want to know specifically what it is you want me to dive into about the project and why. So do that, and that'll give me kind of, moving forward over the next few weeks as I'm working on everything else. At least that'll help me kind of keep my attention. And so, if you post a comment in this at the bottom of this video and more people support that, so I see a lot of likes, to your suggestion, that's what I'm going to be looking at. If you say, hey, look at this obscure shitcoin nobody's ever heard of and nobody else is liking it, like, yeah, I want to know too, I'm just going to ignore it. So, you know, definitely going to want to do that. Make sure that, got to make sure other people are interested too. So, you know, Bitcoin, let me look at an hour. Actually, I want to look at a 30-minute. Okay. Oops. Not what I was trying to do. So, I mean, this is a 30-minute chart, and you can see it's, man, it really is sideways. It's so tricky. It's so tricky. Wait, where's this? I had oh yeah, Chainwise. Gotta plug Chainwise. Get your tickets. I will tell you guys, if you're planning on going to Chainwise, the tickets are only $20. Go get them. This is happening no matter what. I'm not changing the date, nothing. But I will say that the more advanced sale tickets that I have to this event, the better off I will be, because then I'll be able to start showing exhibitors and things like, hey, we've already got 1,000 tickets sold and we're like 2-3 months out or 4 months out or whatever. So if you plan on coming to Chainwise, it's $20 a day. Pick a day, pick a week, you come the whole weekend. And it's in Cincinnati. So hotels are going to be $400 like they are every other convention. Remember, guys, this is all about educating people. This is about bringing people into the blockchain space. This isn't just about, like, I'm going to sum this all up in a nutshell. I set up Chainwise at great expense, okay? Like, this wasn't cheap. This is at the Sharonville Convention Center. Like, this is a swank-ass joint. Like, and it's huge. And I set this up because I'm expecting and hoping that everybody that's out there that watches my videos not only attends, but brings people. Like, you go to your family and you say, hey, there's this convention in Cincinnati that's dirt ass cheap. It's $20 a day. We can catch a red eye round trip for $100. Let's everybody go. Like, all of you guys that are in the space and you're trying to get other people to understand why, and you want to educate them, that's what Chainwise is all about. And that's not a sales pitch. That's a fucking fact. Get them out there, because they are going to learn more at this, even if it's just Saturday. They are going to learn more about, it's come curious, leave an expert. That's the slogan for a reason. And I can't stress enough, get on it. The sooner you get your tickets, the sooner you plan on things, the easier things are going to be, honestly, for me to even make it that much bigger. The more advanced sale tickets that I see coming in, even before all my radio and television and all of the other marketing that I have, the bigger this thing's going to be. That's what I will tell you. Because right now there's already significant expense just in the venue and all the other stuff that I've had to do. Crowmining.com, for those of you looking for co-located Bitcoin mining. We're still waiting the first batch. I know a lot of people are like, when are the first batch going live? When are the first batch is expected? They're going to ship in July. They should be online and purring away in the beginning of August. And there's a chance that it could be the end of the month, but it just depends on when the distributor ships them. And they kind of do whatever they want. So we don't have any control over that. But when this first batch kicks off, rest assured, every day when I come on, I'm going to be showing everybody my dashboard, what my miners are doing, and how I'm growing. ProTrader.com, if you're interested, you can get it now, even though I'm not going to lie to you, it's not trading profitably right now because there's no big altcoin rally and there's no big back and forth volatility. But if you think Bitcoin's going to be $20,000 here in the next 30 days or 40 days or 2 months, you know, if you're holding Bitcoin, it doesn't really matter, but you can buy it with Bitcoin, and it's 0.05 Bitcoin, and it's just download, so you can download it and you'll be able to use it on Binance. And as soon as we add CoinBase Pro, which is expected to be this week, you'll be able to trade on CoinBase Pro as well. But this, you know, you should be able to get your hands on it. Are Ivan on Tech and Box Mining going to be at Chainwise? They are talking about going to an event in the fall together, but wouldn't say what event yet. I honestly don't know. They're planning on coming to Chainwise. I don't know. I would love for them to. I like both of them, but that you know, I don't know what event that is. It would be. I really am truly hoping, because I am not doing Chainwise to make a bunch of money. I'm really not. I'm probably going to lose some. I mean, who knows? I'm not charging companies a lot, and I'm not charging anything for tickets. It's just, I'm hoping that just everybody, their brother, mother, sister, uncle, grandma, they come. And I didn't want to price it out. Here's the thing. We're never going to get mass adoption if all of these conventions are always charging out the ass for tickets. Because the only people that are willing to pay those insane ticket prices are the people that are already in the know. They're already the people that are making money in crypto. That's not what this convention is for. This convention is for bringing new people in and educating them properly on the space so that they can hopefully change their lives with the rest of us. And so it's just not a cash grab. But because it's not all flash and trash, and you know, I'm not charging $20,000 for a stupid booth, and I'm not charging $500 to $2,000 for tickets and all that. You know, it's almost like perceived value, I think, in some regard, because some of these companies, they're like, oh, it's only $1,500. Well, this can't be good. Trust me, a lot of these companies are going to miss out, because there are going to be companies here. I know Monarch Token, Monarch Wallet, they're going to have a big booth. I mean, but Beatles has already told me, like, we're going to be a big sponsor. Like, he wants involved in mass, and this is perfect for him too. And we're going to have other companies. I've had some other companies that are signing up, and you know, we're going to have a lot of people. Like, there are going to be a shit ton of people at this event. The question is will the blockchain companies be supporting it or not? And if I have to, if it's me and Beatles and Love and Wendy O and, you know, Mark Moss and, you know, Alex Mashinsky and hopefully Charles, you guys saw my recent video. I asked Charles if he was coming, and he's like, I'm going to make every effort. So he didn't say 100%, but he does have family that lives close as well. So I think he's going to try and use it as an opportunity to see some family and things. But even if this is just a group of amazing minds educating everybody that shows up, look, if people can't take everything that they're going to learn over the course of this weekend and multiply the whatever silly expenses they incurred for, whether it's a plane trip, a hotel room, maybe it costs $200, you know, with a hotel room and a plane trip and a ticket, maybe $250. Can somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto come to an event like Chainwise, spend $250 and make that back in potential profit in the next week, 2 weeks, 30 days? I think so. My only concern is Bitcoin going to be 20 or 30 grand by the time this convention rolls around? So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. There's probably going to be crazy FOMO in the market come November. So this is going to be one of those things that I think, you know, the last 30 days leading into the thing, everything's going to go nuts. And so, which is cool, but I'm really hoping that more people take notice before then, because I want people to get involved. Nice little price spike in Bitcoin on a 30-minute. It's going up. Got a buy signal. Pretty cool. So anyway, Crow, are you going to talk about the new crypto laws in the works? Oh, shit. I totally forgot about that. Well, basically, there was an article. Have you maybe considered to make Chainwise available online, like pay-per-view? For a lot of people from around the world, this would be great. Just an idea. Yeah, that is a pretty cool idea. There's potential in that. I don't think I would do it as a pay-per-view. I would just do it for free. Most likely, but it really just kind of depends on what happens between now and then. What I like about Chainwise is that you aren't overcharging people. It's ridiculous to see tickets for $2,000. I know, it's absolutely nuts, and that to me is all just sheer fire cash grab. And you know, but at the same time, some of these guys, they're trying to charge crazy money to be speakers. The people that are coming to speak at Chainwise aren't charging anything. They're doing it out of love for the space, and they're doing it out of support for something that they ultimately know is supporting the space. A lot of the people that are being paid to speak from some of these big conventions, They're already rich enough, man. Like, when is enough enough? When does it stop becoming about you and more about the people that haven't even, tapped into this stuff yet? I don't know, man. Like, greed to me is just, we're all doing well enough, man. We don't need to be raping the public, to try and, I don't know. I'm not even going to get started on all that, but we'll see. If I manage to get on Joe Rogan before the convention, that'll probably help a lot of people too, because I'll reach a lot more people. There's so much. Like, I don't even want to get shitty because I've already been on here an hour and I don't want to get all hot-headed. What was the question? Charles called this guy an idiot. Is he right? What guy? I'm not sure who you're talking about. He wasn't talking about me, I can tell you that. Crypto, is there a link for the Chainwise event in the description? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I could put it here. I'll copy. There you go. I'll link them all. I'll give you guys all the links right here in chats. Super chats on the internets. Oh my gosh. All these monitors suck. I can never find my mouse. There it is. There it is. There's Crow Mining. Pro Trader. But yeah, all my links are in the descripto. Crypto Chico sends his regards. Cool. Charles, okay. I could bring people to my home and do it like a pay-per-view with appies and beers. You need to change the name for live view since those who are there may feel unfair they paid, but view online not. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like charge for pay-per-view online so that, I mean, yeah, it's always possible. Crow, will your exchange be insured? Yes. Fiat will be insured up to 250 grand for account. Basically, everybody that sets up an account on Crow's Nest X, you're basically setting up a bank account through a nationally chartered banking institution. Like, it's your crypto. If you convert that fiat to crypto, it's not going to be insured yet, because that kind of insurance is ridiculous. It's like super expensive. But once things grow and once things start getting established, it's something that I plan to add. Charles was referring to question asked by listeners, not Crow. Yeah, I don't even know. I know he was having trouble with somebody, Max Powers or something like that he was banning. He had to keep banning on his channel, but I don't know. What are the chances of you getting on JRE? Would love to see that. Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea whatsoever. I'm trying to will it into existence. I think Joe and I would just have a really good time. I think, my personality and his would really click. And I'm not big on politics. I'm not big on, to me, politics is kind of one big joke. Like, I just look at all of it as a big show, but I can talk to him about MMA. I can talk to him about crypto. I can talk to him about conspiracies. Bob Lazar. I mean, I used to read AboveTopSecret.com every night like I was reading a book, for years, and it's like we have a lot of similar interests and I think it would be a really good time. I think he has a lot of like friends and stuff on there. And it's all good stuff, but I'm thinking, if he ever just wants somebody that can like hang and really kind of go over a lot of cool shit with people and just keep it real and hell, I'll hit his weed once and try it maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm down. I think we'd have a blast personally. But what are the odds? Who knows, man? I mean, it's like the biggest podcast in the world now. You know, I mean, Joe's likely gotten way too big for my britches, but at the same time, he has a lot of guys that he thinks are interesting, and they don't have to be insanely popular or hugely famous or anything like that. He has a very wide array of people. I think for Joe, it's more about who he finds interesting, kind of like the way I do in my channel. I'm just, you know, it's if he likes you and he thinks you're interesting and has some cool stuff to say, he wants to talk to you about it. So, but a lot of his interests seem to stem around either comedy, which obviously, you know, health and fitness, or politics. And I'm not big on, well, comedy. I'm down for. Health and fitness. I'm just a big ogre. I don't know. We'll see. But is it possible? I think it is possible. If he wants somebody on his channel that can talk crypto in an intelligent way and keep it real without all the bullshit, then I think it's absolutely possible. And we could talk about a lot of other cool shit at the same time. So who knows? I know that if the community rallies behind me and the community feels that, you know, I would be a good spokesperson for the crypto space, and they all kind of rally and support my efforts in trying to get on Joe Rogan's show, then it could definitely happen. So we'll see. You should take up archery. I've wanted to for a long ass time. I've seen him talk about archery. I love the idea of archery. I messed with it when I was a kid, but I never got too deep into it. Sleeping Giant. You can give Bob Lazar a run for his money. I love Bob Lazar, and I'm not going to lie. I think Bob Lazar is absolutely legit, and I think he's hell on wheels. So, yeah, that's a whole other topic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. I hear some noise rattling around upstairs, and I got to eat soon. So I just kind of want to hang out and see everybody, because I've been having a pretty good weekend. If you guys aren't watching Stranger Things, you might want to get on that. Get that shit going on Netflix, because it's pretty sick. And I'm supposed to be seeing John Wick 3 today, and I just found out that you know, my stepson's really wanting to go. Welcome, Joe Ryan. Thanks for subscribing, brother. Make sure you hit that alert. Next bull run, EOS past $300. I don't know. We'll see. Don't forget to talk about the new crypto laws in the works. Oh, gosh, I did keep forgetting. Basically, it's real simple. They're trying to pass some new laws that basically make things like buying a coffee with Bitcoin a non-taxable event. And they're trying to pass a law that says that if you operate on the blockchain, but you're a non-financial business, that you would not be considered a money transmitter business, which is actually two pretty significant things. So, holy cow, $20, money. Please video and post the informative aspects of Chainwise. Your efforts are appreciated. Thanks, Crow. Well, thank you, Moni. So just so everybody knows, the speakers at Chainwise are going to be turned into like half-hour episodes. They're going to be turned into half-hour episodes for my channel and for television. So, and so the idea was, look, if you get a booth at Chainwise, then you will have the ability to have somebody from your company do some form of lecture in one of the lecture halls. And then those are going to be videotaped to become content on my channel and for television. And depending on how that goes, it may be something that we turn into a full season of television that I shop to other networks to educate people. And that show would be called Chainwise. I have a whole plan for this. I just need these people to get off their asses and join me. Like, I know I'm just a YouTuber, but I'm telling you guys, I'm no fucking joke. It's like, I've done a lot of crazy cool shit. I'm no joke. It's like, I don't just come on the interwebs and talk crypto. It's like, I'm pretty good at a lot of this stuff, but it doesn't matter how amazing an idea I have. These companies have to get on board. I can tell you right now that the companies, if I get enough companies on board for Chainwise and they start coming in and registering, they're going to get far more out of being a part of Chainwise than likely any other convention they're going to do this year. And for cheaper, significantly cheaper. But, a lot of these companies, we'll see. To me, it's kind of a litmus test too, because the companies that are serious about what they're trying to accomplish in 2019 and 2020 are going to want to be a part of Chainwise if they have any sense at all. And the companies that don't, to me, they're going to be hiding. And it's like, that kind of sounds like, well, I know how that sounds, and I don't mean it that way. But there is no excuse whatsoever for legitimate crypto companies to not want to be associated or be involved with Chainwise based on everything that I have going. So we'll see what happens. So on that note, guys, I'm going to call it an afternoon. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I will talk to you again very soon. Until then, crow your coins. I love you, miss you, mean it. See ya.